Erling Haaland has taken to the Premier League like a duck to water, and whilst his success in England's top flight so far makes him somewhat of an anomaly, we wanted to find the next up-and-coming Erling Haaland type figure. To do just that, we sought help from Total Football Analysis, who sent their finest data wizard on a number crunching mission. And you'll be pleased to know that using TFA's xGOLD tool, the goods have been delivered in the form of 5 player suggestions who roughly match the Norwegian's profile. But just before we dive in, here's what you need to know. From a scouting point of view, the way xGOLD works is that if we know who the absolute ideal player in any given position is, we can run xGOLD to find players who match the data profile of the player in question. As ever, it's important to remember that xGOLD is a conversation starter for this kind of thing. It's a fast way to find data matches, but obviously scouting is far more complex than just finding a new Haaland via numbers and a computer. Total Football Analysis have successfully used this tool with several club clients and continue to create prestigious content for the thinking football fan. If you like this sort of content, then you'll love TFA, and you can grab this month's magazine for free via the link in the description. But with all that said, let's dive into xGOLD's top 5 data matches to Erling Haaland. Guy-Benzie Kambolecki is a 22-year-old centre-forward who plies his trade for Saudi Arabian side Al Tai, who operate in the Saudi Professional League, which is the country's top division. In what's a contrast to Haaland, he's a more mobile attacker that likes to get on the ball, though he's an asset that often plays with his back to goal, releasing the ball and then making use of his explosivity to make runs in behind. Inside the box, the Congo international relies on quick anticipations to win aerial duels because he's not the tallest player, standing at 5'11". But his physicality more than makes up for this and means he's a handful for defenders. His quick movement inside the box, as well as the timing and execution of his runs to push past the last line of defence, is reminiscent of Haaland's playing style, with the data suggesting that there's an 86% match between the two. Karol Zubac is a 22-year-old strong, athletic and tall centre-forward that plays for Poland's second-tier side, Arka Gdynia. The Polish striker operates as a target man for his side, serving as the focal point and often finding himself as the recipient of long balls played from deep. Zubac is a dominant threat in the air and uses his pinpoint timing to create runs in behind. The forward is also armed with great positioning inside the box and has an instinct in catching rebounds. And although he's not the fastest, physically speaking, with his few touch playing style and the presence in the penalty box, he is again reminiscent to the Manchester City forward, with the data suggesting that there's an 87% match between the two. Up next is Wubin's Patius, a 21-year-old striker who plies his trade for Forge FC in the Canadian Premier League. Quite simply, Patius has pace and makes use of it to exchange areas in the final third, with his off-the-ball movements proving key in creating runs in behind the opposition from out to in and in to out. The Canadian forward possesses good technical ability in possession and constantly finds himself in 1v1 situations in attacking transitions, thanks to his pace. Patius can be a real threat in the attacking phase, all because of the various spaces that he occupies in the final third. Despite his 87% match though, he is a more unorthodox match to Haaland and doesn't have the physical athleticism or power that the Norwegian powerhouse possesses. Ranking as another one of the closest matches to Erling Haaland is Benfica's 20-year-old centre-forward, Henrik Aralia. The Portuguese forward is almost a right-footed equivalent according to the data, but possesses a lean build with a high technical level. Aralia likes to leave his zone frequently to ask for the ball and serves as a function in the build-up phase of his side. The starlet has great control of the ball and is blessed with astute decision-making skills when it comes to deciding whether to pass or carry. Inside the box, the 20-year-old has a great goal-scoring smell and is capable of producing his own chances by improvising with intricate dribbles and close-knit skills. His ability to step into the middle third of the pitch makes him a viable option as a second striker also. But whilst he doesn't possess the physical traits of the Manchester City forward, Aralia has started to prove himself as a goalscorer, thanks to the variety and frequency of his shots that saw him net 3 goals in 5 Liga Portugal appearances for Benfica last term. pretty impressive. Which brings us on then to our closest match with a 91% resemblance to the data of Erling Haaland. Introducing Andre Ilitch, a right-footed Serbian striker who plays for RFS in the Versliga, which is the top tier of Latvia. At 22 years of age, Ilitch has scored 15 goals in 22 matches in the tournament so far. And standing at 6'2", he's a direct, tall and physical asset who shows great ability to hold on to his marker in top speed duels or in situations where he has to shield the ball. He's a high pressing player with top movement and possesses great technique in putting the ball in the back of the net. Like Haaland, Ilitch doesn't participate as much in the game, but when he does, offers a good service in the final third. He has the speed and strength to hold his marker, with his movement in and around the box making him a deadly asset in front of goal. So there we have it, 5 data matches to Erling Haaland, courtesy of TFA's xGOLD tool. But now it's over to you. Leave a comment of the player you'd like us to cover next, and be sure to grab yourself a copy of this month's magazine for more in-depth and esteemed football content. The link is in the description below. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, it's free. It is literally free. You can change your mind at any time and unsubscribe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.